Welcome everybody, it's Saturday and on Saturdays I film Tag Tuesday videos. Sometimes. At least today. The weather outside, as you can see, is beautiful. The sun is pouring into my little room here. Jim from Jim's Books, Reading and Stuff has presented BookTube with his first 3 original tag videos. He has done a video from A to J and then the rest of the alphabet into more tags. And today, I haven't been tagged, I think, as far as I can see, by anyone who has done this beautiful A to J tag, but nevertheless, I thought I could snack the tag. I could do it anyway. So I do this tag today. Let's get started. A is for author. Which author have you read the most books by? Well, in my case, of course, series. Authors who do series are in a great advantage, right? So I think for me, the author of whom? I think the author of whom I have read most books must be and is definitely Michael Connelly from Los Angeles, because I read all his crime novels, and it could have been Peter Robinson as well, but Peter Robinson is only doing his one series with novels about now Detective Superintendent Ellen Banks in Eastvale in England. But Michael Connelly has not only one series about his famous detective Hieronymus Harry Bosch, he also has a series about the half-brother Mickey Haller, who's the Lincoln lawyer. He also has a series about the journalist, the crime reporter Jack McAvoy. And he also has a series about the cop Rene Ballard, who's now working together with Bosch. So 4 series, some standalones. That makes it up. I think, as far as I can see, I've read 33 novels by Michael Connelly. So congratulations, Michael, for being my most read author. Some titles I want to show you that I really love from the title of the books, because sometimes titles can be really, really beautiful and promising, can't they? And we have A Darkness More Than Night. We have The Late Show. We have The Wrong Side of Goodbye. And we have Echo Park, which is a park in Los Angeles. I've never been to Los Angeles. I want to go there. And if I go there, I certainly will go to Echo Park, which at least is in 2 songs that I know. And here I'm down in Echo Park, Carmelita, hold me tighter, I think I'm sinking down, 'cause I'm all strung out on heroin on the outskirts of town. This is Warren Zevon, and I learned that song from Linda Ronstadt. 2. B is for Black History Month. What are you reading for Black History Month? Honestly, right now I haven't read anything for Black History Month yet. Black History Month is a thing primarily coming from the United States, because you guys have Black History Month there, which I think is a very good thing to sort of deal and focus attention on the history and on the presence of Afro-American people in the United States, the people on which American wealth is built upon. Even Canada has officially recognized Black History Month now, and I think it's also present in countries like Ireland and the Netherlands. It's not here in Sweden and not in Germany, where I come from, maybe because we don't have so many Afro-Germans or Afro-Swedish people right now. I have ordered actually one book, but this is The Skin We're In by Desmond Cole, which is a Canadian guy, a non-fiction account about racism in Canada and especially in Toronto, in Ontario. But since I ordered this from a Canadian bookshop in Toronto, I don't think that this will arrive by the end of the month. This will take a few more weeks, and this will first end up in the customs, and then I will have to pay again customs taxes, and I will also have to pay an administration fee. But I wanted to get this Canadian book from, but that will take a little more time, definitely. I read and I finished in January, I finished The Secret Lives of Church Ladies by Disha Filia, which is, of course, would fit into Black History Month, but I know it doesn't count. It was in January. I also borrowed from the library Isabel Wilkerson's book Cast, The Lies That Divide Us. The Lies That Divide Us, about caste as sort of divider of societies in India, Germany, and the United States. I don't know if I will be able to finish Caste, since it's more than 450 pages. A pretty chunky book. C, what are you currently reading? Currently, I'm reading, and I'm crying a lot, almost in every chapter, if not every second chapter, and despairing about No Fixed Abode, Life, Death, and the Forgotten Homeless in the United Kingdom. Probably on Tuesday, when this video will be airing, I will have finished the book. But currently on Saturday, I'm reading this, and I might finish this even today. It's an enormously important and great book. So Maeve McClanahan, great acclaim to Maeve McClanahan. I will do a single review about this, be so sure. Because it's so important to talk about this. Fiction-wise, that's my non-fiction read right now. Fiction-wise, I restarted reading Once Upon a River by Bonnie Jo Campbell, which takes me to the Kalamazoo River in Michigan. Doesn't that sound amazing? The Kalamazoo River in Michigan. Bonnie Jo Campbell. D. Question D is the fourth question, of course, because D is the fourth letter in the alphabet, right? And D. Jup. Okay. D. What is your drink of choice while reading? I have this beautiful cup. It's my favorite cup. It's from Portland, Oregon, but it's actually from a very famous coffee company in the United States, from Peet's Coffee. I bought this on PDX Airport a couple of years ago. So I drink mostly coffee, and I like good coffee, which is a little bit more expensive sometimes than normal coffee. When it's a weekend, I sometimes also like to have a glass of good Japanese whiskey. I almost finished that bottle yesterday. No, I drank about, it's almost 2 months that I started. This is Miwakami whiskey from Japan, and I think, yes, that's the best whiskey. Japanese whiskey is the best whiskey in the entire world. So take that, Scotland, and take that, Kentucky. Ebook or physical? This is the question number 5. Both, but preferably I like physical books. It has something to do with being able to touch a book, to feel it, touch it with my hands. And when it's a bit older, like this one, this is A Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Ozeki. I bought this in England as a used book on the internet. I just love it. Love the cover and love the first pages here. It's so beautiful. And when it's an older book like this one, which is used, I don't know by who used it. It's also nice to smell. Maybe that makes me a pervert, but I like to smell at used books. Sometimes I shouldn't do it probably, but I guess there's no virus on that one. So, physical books, but I also read ebooks, and mostly when I'm in bed, I read ebooks because I don't need any lamp or light to do that, because the Kindle is working by itself. Yeah, and especially I only buy Kindle books when they are pretty cheap. So in that way, I'm a cheap person, because I don't buy Kindle books. That's my personal rule, which are more expensive than $3.21. Number 6, favorite fictitious characters. Encountered that question in another tech video months ago, I think. It's so difficult for me. Yeah, it was a crush. Do you have a crush on a fictitious character? No, because I think I'm a too realistic person. I love diving into a story, diving into other people's lives in form of literature. But I think I'm too realistic to sort of have a friend who is a literary character or whatever, or fall in love with someone who is a character in a book. No, I'm probably too old for that, unfortunately. But if I think about it, I think I could actually really imagine to meet some of the characters that I've read recently about. For example, I would love to sit down for a cup of coffee here with Virgil Wounded Horse from David Heska Wanbley-Wyden's beautiful, best-selling novel Winter Counts. Actually, I wanted to say drink a beer with Virgil Wounded Horse, but Virgil doesn't drink beer anymore since he is an alcoholic and he has stopped drinking, so it's very good. So we would have like a cup of coffee, maybe also some scrambled eggs with bacon in a very typical American luncheonette somewhere in South Dakota. We could do that. But again, another favorite fictitious character or fictitious characters that I had 2 years ago. I read a book by the beautiful Canadian author Alex O'Lean, and that is called Dual Citizens. And the sisters of the Dual Citizens, two sisters, Robin and Lark. They were not very close to me, but I was really close to them. I felt close to them. And I couldn't imagine meeting Lark and Robin and talk to them about why they made sometimes not the best decisions in their lives. Okay, number 7, Georgia. Do you know any famous Georgians? And this is Georgia, the country, because Jim, who did the tag video, is living in Georgia, as I understand. So, Georgia, the country, not the state. As a German, I'm a German living in Sweden. As a German, the first famous Georgian that I thought of was actually the former Soviet foreign minister or Secretary of State of the Soviet Union, Eduard Shevardnadze, later president of Georgia, and with a bad ending of his political history. But when he was the Secretary of State in Georgia, he actually was one of the people who, besides, of course, President Gorbachev, who made it possible that the Berlin Wall came to a fall. You know, Ronald Reagan, he was in Berlin once, many years ago. He was standing on the other side of the wall, and he was giving that beautiful speech. And then he said, talking over the wall, he was saying, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall." And that came to pass a couple of years later. Yeah, anyway, Shevardnadze. And the other famous Georgian, of course, that everyone knows, and unfortunately so, I have to say, is, of course, Josef Vissarionovich Djugashvili, a man who is in world history better known as Stalin, one of the worst figures in world history in the 20th century, I think. Number 8, horror. Is there a book that really scared you? No. I think books don't scare me usually, and I don't read horror. My daughter loves horror. She watches a lot of horror movies, but I don't watch so much horror. And I don't read horror at all. A book that scared me in a time when I was not feeling perfectly well many years ago was Shutter Island by Dennis Lehane. I read that when I had a very bad day, I remember that, and I got so mad reading this book that I stopped it, and I thought, okay, I have to finish this when I feel better. But since then, it's no problem to read any kind of book. Number 9, I don't know. Italy, India, Ireland, intelligent, whatever you like, says Jim here in the prompt. So I think that this is a joker. Joker starts with a J, but I can have something with an I in this question. And so I went to Italy. I've been to Italy for the last time in 2016, to Rome. I've been to Milan. I've been to Florence. A beautiful country, beautiful food, and beautiful people, beautiful culture, beautiful music. I love Italy. I would like to read some contemporary Italian authors born, let's say, 1965 and later in history, so that they're sort of really contemporary living authors writing about contemporary Italy as it is now, or as it has been like 10, 20 years ago. So if you have any suggestions about that, Italian literature and translation, please drop me a comment down below. Thank you very much. What book have you just finished? That's number 10. I just finished Snow Country by Yasunari Kawabata from Japan. I think he finished this version of the book in 1956. He got the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1958 as first Japanese author. No, in 1968 actually, as first Japanese author ever. This is a beautiful story, a love story or a non-love story. I think I will make a review about this, or a single review as well. Playing in the region of Shintzawa in Japan, which is not so far actually from Takayama, where I was 2.5 years ago. And that's, if I ever, and I hope so much that I will, get back to Japan, I will go there, because there's a Kawabata museum, apparently. There's a snow country museum about this novel in that little place called Yinsawi in the Japanese Alps. That was the book I finished last, and I think that was the tag, because we have arrived at J, which was not just the book that I just finished, but also a book from Japan. So double J here from me to all of you. Thanks very much for watching this video. I don't tag anyone because I think literally everyone that I follow on BookTube has already done this beautiful tag video, and I will do the next tag in a couple of days. Thanks very much for watching this video, and see you very soon with a wrap up and with other stuff on this channel. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Wear masks, stay safe, socially distance. The mutations are circling around. We have to be careful still a couple of months at least. Bye-bye.